Well,
I love that.
I love that piece. And the person who was ordering them to walk like a human.
Walk like a human.
Is Ayaan, Activities Events Manager at Open School East, who helps run the Despacito Art School. Morning.
Good morning.
What is walking like a human?
Basically, do not go on the road and get killed. I need you alive tomorrow.
I love your story because just tell us a little bit about, you arrived there and there was no plans to have a kind of children's art club or anything, was there?
No, not at all. So Open School East moved from London to Margate 2017, and we kind of landed on this road called Athelstone Road, which at the time was deemed the poorest street in the second poorest ward. And we're outside, there's a parking area and a bikes parking space, and we didn't realise the kids were playing there. So they were there, started knocking on the door, couldn't get any work done, and then we decided to try. We let them in one day, and they were like, "Oh, what do you do?" We're like, "We're an alternative art school. We do art." Like, we love art. So we gave them some pens and stuff and started playing around. And then at the back of that, we decided to set up an art school. We got funded by Kent County Council, and here we are 2.5 years later.
Wow.
We can see some pictures here. So talk us through, Ayaan, some of the art that you do. What are you sort of creating with these children?
At the moment, because Turner Prize is coming to Margate, we're working on the programme is around the Turner Prize. So we're taking inspiration from past Turner Prize winners and kind of recreating or using their art as an inspiration. So here, this was part of Margate Carnival when we did Margate Voices of Margate. So we got a big yellow bus and the kids were like decorating the buses. And then we built a city, and that's all the plants they were planting. So they get vegetables and food. And then, well, this is in session. And this is the one we did that's inspired by Lubayda Hamid, who did the Cardboard People Turner Prize winner 2016.
Now, what strikes me is you're not a teacher, but you make the most brilliant teacher. How much have you seen these children change over the 2 years you've been doing
It's been amazing because when we first met them, they weren't very focused, they were very unstructured, they weren't really listening to us, and they kind of felt like they could just come into the space and do what they wanted. But it's been amazing to see their confidence, and because not most people at that age, you're a student, that's natural, you're a child, somebody's child, that's natural. But we give them another layer by telling them they're artists. So having that identity, so when they walk around, they go, we're going to Despacito because we are artists, not we're going to an after-school programme kind of scenario.
Right.
And it's all about sort of futures as well, isn't it? So what sort of future do you think these children might go into? Are you trying to inspire them into anything?
Well, I'm hoping they were going to come be part of our school because we have the programme for Despacito, which is for 5 to 11-year-olds, but then we also got Young Associates programme, which is 16 to 18 for people deemed not to be in education or training or employment. And then after that, we got the 18 adults who also do art. So I can definitely see them becoming 1 or 2, 3 or 10 of them even becoming amazing artists because they have the confidence, the desire and the drive. But the education system, only, especially in Margate, only facilitates 2 hours of art per term. So
Per term.
Per term.
Right.
It's terrible.
It's 2 hours per... Wow.
And then, so do you think art can sort of change people, help people?
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. These kids were just running around, having not much going on, but now they have identity. They have 2 exhibitions a year with us. They've been on a theatre. They've done animation film that was shown in theatres. I mean, everything we do is about raising their confidence, raising their esteem, helping them look at the world differently, and claiming the space and the world as their own, rather than this sheltered life that a lot of people in Margate have.
You say you've been going through some sort of past Turner Prize winners with the children in the class.
Yep.
Do you have any views on what should win the Turner Prize this week?
I'm quite biased because I did actually perform for Ty Shani recently at Turner Contemporary, so she's one of my favourites. I also like Oscar Murillo's work, so.
And how important is it that the Turner comes to places like Margate, for example? What sort of impact does that have?
I think it's amazing because Margate is quite artsy anyway, but this really puts the world and the focus on Margate, and having the influx of people and kind of exploring what Margate has, because people that tend to come there is for tourism, but now they get to see other parts because there's a massive festival called Margate Festival now around that as well. And most important thing is they come to Open School East because that's where other kids are.
And what's your plan for it? I mean, obviously there'll be a lot more interest in it now. Well,
yeah.
Would you love to expand?
We want to expand it because basically we have a gap. We have the 5 to 11-year-olds, but there's only 2 hours a week, and then we have the 16 to 18-year-olds, and then the adults. But it would be amazing.
There's a big gap there, isn't there?
Yes, we need to cover that gap. But also, it would be amazing if you could run Despacito for more than the 2 hours a week. Maybe have a weekend program as well. But as always, that's down to funding, isn't it?
Do you know what? People are going to be watching this saying, we want one as well. That's what you're going to have to do.
Every child should have an opportunity to be a Despacito, because what we do, like, I don't think there's there's any other organisation in the world that actually goes to your house to knock on your door to collect your kid, bring them in, we feed them, they have agency, they get to set the rules, they kind of help us determine what the curriculum's going to be, and they have a lot of say and input in what we do anyway.
And you teach them to walk like a human.
Absolutely, walking like a human is the most important.
What's the key rule apart from walking like a human?
The rules are: do not swear, spit and fight, do not be racist and homophobic, be kind and helpful, listen to your teachers, and the most important part is rule number 5, that they all have to shout out, which is I will be the best artist I can be. And all of those rules were put in place by them, well, with a bit of influence by me.
Really? Oh, it's so lovely to see you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Your energy is infectious.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
set of rules, those, for everybody. 9:05. Brian Adams is standing by for standby. He's going to be here in a moment.
Yeah, we'll talk to him in a second. First, though, the last brief look at the headlines wherever you are this morning. See you in a sec.